Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Desiree and I'm here today joined by Kaya. And we're gonna go through all of my tips for newborn essentials. Now, I've already made a similar video before giving birth. I will link it up here and also down in the description. Not a whole lot about that has changed. I mean, I still very much believe in all the products and things that I showed you in that video. However, just a couple of tweaks here and there and some new little additions that I want to share with you today. So let's get into the video. So first and foremost, of course, you're going to be needing a lot of swaddles and muslin cloths. So I'm going to be linking these particular ones in the description box below because I have found these to be the most convenient ones, the ones that work best for us. Now, these are not that big, but they are actually the perfect size to put on your shoulder if you want to burp your baby, and they're just very much ideal. You can just throw these into your bag when you're on the road and take these everywhere around the house as well. I have these lying around everywhere because they come in handy for pretty much anything. Now, talking about swaddles, in the previous video I did show you that we bought a Swaddle Baby, which is like a little suit that they wear, which is also, it serves like a swaddle, but we honestly haven't used that. Maybe we used it only once. So instead what we do is we use these very big muslin cloths. These are ginormous. And then we swaddle her in this. I will show you how to do this because you do need to kind of learn the technique, but once you do, it's super easy to use. So let me show you how to swaddle a baby.
Appalachian sunrise meets my skin. Even with my eyes still closed, I can feel it coming in. Golden, golden, I'll follow only golden, 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 golden things.
So the next thing on my list has to do with clothing. Now, let me show you. If I knew this before, I would not have gone out and bought all the clothing that I have for her. Honestly, our little baby lives in these wonder suits by the brand Bond. And I'd actually never heard of these before, but a new friend recently told me about these and I have purchased so many. I already have them in all the sizes for the upcoming months because she lives in these. Like, they're so handy dandy. So you can actually turn the bottom of this suit into a little sock. And the other really handy thing is that they have a zipper that opens both at the top and the bottom. So when you're changing diaper, it's really, really easy. You just have to open the zipper at the bottom and you don't have to take off the whole suit, which, my gosh, that comes in super handy for all the diaper changes during the day and during the night. So when it comes to going out and about with a little baby, we do use our carriers most. And I have 3 of them here that I will show you. First and foremost, I have this little wrap, which is absolutely beautiful. This one is by the brand Chico, I think. And it's a really beautiful, very soft wrap. Now, you do need to be aware of the fact that on the website they state that you can start using this from the day that they are born. I've actually come to realize that that is not the case. Both a doctor that is seeing Kaya and our postpartum doula recommended that you only start using these from when they are 6 weeks old. So yeah, definitely keep that in mind. But these are so comfortable and you can just wear your baby close to you. You could wear them in the side laying position, but with the legs in the M shape, that's too much on the baby's hips for the first 6 weeks. Then next up is the one that we use most, and this one we did start using from pretty much as soon as she was born, when we started going out, and this is a ring sling. And I absolutely love ring slings. You can put your baby in a very comfortable position in here. These are so easy. You pretty much set them up once and then you can use them over and over again. So let me demo it for you. You have the ring up here. You can really adjust it by pulling on this part. I can do a full in-depth tutorial on how to use a ring sling because it was quite a bit to figure this out at first. So let me know if you're interested in that. But for now, yeah, just know that this one is the one that we use most because it's the most comfortable. It's the one that you can use from pretty much when they are newborn, and it's safe to put them in a certain position in there. We go out and about always with this, and she is super comfortable, and she pretty much sleeps in there right away, especially if you walk around. They do love that feeling, and you can just carry your little baby with you at all times, which is very comfortable and soothing for both baby and for you as the mama or as the daddy wearing it. And then lastly, we also ended up investing in one of these Artipop carriers. They are stunning. They are truly the most beautiful carriers out there. And these are so supportive for you when you're wearing them. They have this really thick and sturdy band at the bottom, so not all of your weight falls into your back or even your shoulders when you're wearing your baby. Really, the weight is divided properly when you use this one. Baby does need to be a little older in order for you to wear this safely, or just make sure when they are still very small that the head at least doesn't fully sink down into the carrier. So I think you have to make sure that from the ears up, they have to be able to be free and breathe. But yeah, just look into that before you start using this with a newborn. But yeah, these are absolutely stunning. They are very much on the pricey side, but I did look into a lot of other carriers and I saw that so many of them actually do not really support that M position that I talked about previously. And also a lot of the weight will be divided into parts of your body where it will start to hurt if you wear the carrier for a longer time. With this one, that's not so likely to happen because of the very sturdy band at the bottom. So I do really love this one, but it is on the pricier side. So yeah, don't feel like you have to get all three of these. If you'd have to choose between all three, I would really recommend just getting the ring sling. It is a lot less pricey and these are so handy dandy. You just throw them into your bag and I take them everywhere. And yeah, they don't take up a whole lot of space and it's just wonderful. I really love the ring sling, especially because you can start using them from when they are newborn. And this one is great on the road when you're traveling. Yeah, this I love as well. And especially, like I said, you can wear this pretty much all day without it hurting your back. Now I will make sure to link all of these products down below in the description box because these are really the things that I love using most. So let's move on. In the last video, when I was talking about the newborn essentials, we already talked about the cloth diapers, and I still think these are absolutely a must. I love them. Also this brand, Grovia, I really love. And especially these very soft ones. They are the Butter by Grovia. And really enjoy these. This one is a newborn one. And yeah, they also have bigger ones. Love these. And when I talked about storage of these ones, they are used. In the last video, I mentioned these wet bags. This one is the smaller one for the road, and I still really love these. These are great for when you're out and about and you want to put a used diaper into the bag. This way your bag stays nice and clean and the smell doesn't go out, so that's great. And I did mention that we were going to be using this big one at home. Now, we didn't end up using this one. We instead bought a different device that my postpartum doula recommended. Let me show you. We instead got this chunky basket, but it's really handy because inside you can put these nets and just throw the dirty diaper in here. And then when it comes to laundry day, every other day, you can just take this whole entire bag out and put it into the laundry. So you don't have to go into the bag and take the dirty diaper out, which is not very pleasant to do. So you just put the whole thing into the laundry, not touching anything. This really makes everything so easy. There's no excuse to washing cloth diapers, to using cloth diapers, because this really makes it as easy as it can possibly get. Now, while we're on the chunkier stuff of this video, let me show you this next thing. And this is a bathtub, and we absolutely love this one for baby Kaya. This is called a tummy tub and pretty much resembles your uterus. So when the baby is in the water in this tummy tub, they feel like they're back in your tummy, back in your uterus, and it feels very known and safe to them. So there's a particular way of using this tub. You always have to make sure that you support the head, but they can pretty much kind of crawl into that fetus position, and it's so cute when you see baby in this tummy tub in the water and they kind of crawl back into that position. It's so cute. They really find it soothing and you can just see them relaxing and calming down. So my postpartum doula had this, and yeah, I had to get this. We actually bought a different tub at first, but I haven't used that other one because I just really love how she feels in this tub. Like she loves it so much. She relaxes, and you can kind of put one ear in or both ears, again making sure that you support the head so the mouth or the nose doesn't touch the water. But yeah, really always make sure you're doing this safely. But yeah, for them it's amazing when their ear touches the water and they hear that sound. It's the same sound as back in the uterus, so they're very familiar with that and they feel so good in this. So love tummy tubs. So while we're on the topic of giving your baby a bath, they don't really need to use a lot of product. Like, I know a lot of products are recommended for newborns, but most of these products, they contain perfumes and all other crap that you really don't want to clean your baby with. So there is one product that I found that is the cleanest one out there that I've been able to see. If you have other recommendations, then please let me know, because I do always love finding clean and wonderful products. So the one that we use for baby is the Dr. Bronner's All-One Magic Soap, and this really goes such a long way. This is kind of oil based, and I really love this. You just use a little drop before we wash her, before we put her in the tummy tub. I just use a couple of wet cloths and I put just a drop of this on one, and then I clean her, and then afterwards she just takes a bath without this. Babies initially, they aren't dirty yet, they're not playing out in the mud, so you're good. You don't need a whole lot of product, but yeah, I do love using this one. Now, moving on to something that you probably already have in your home, something that I didn't realize that we will be using for baby as well, but something that I'm using every single day, multiple times a day, and that is a hot flask. Is this called a hot flask? These things, oh, they come in so handy. Baby has a little bit of a difficult time when they are newborn to adjust to the temperature and to keep their temperature up high. You have to imagine that they come from a very warm temperature in the belly, and then everything outside, the outside world, is a little colder. So I always make sure that I put warm water in this, and I put these on her changing station, and then on top of this I will put her diaper. So you just open the diaper and then lay it flat on top of the hot flask so that the diaper is nice and warm. You can put her change of clothing on there, anything you use. Also, when you're taking a bath, always make sure that you have one of these there to warm up the changing station, especially when they come out of the bath. Maybe already have their new set of clothing warm and prepared so that the change in temperature isn't too high for them. This makes such a difference also with changing. She doesn't cry, she doesn't get fussy, she just loves getting changed on the changing station that is preheated. Make sure that you do remove this, that this does not come in contact with baby, because of course this can be very dangerous. When it leaks, the hot water spills out. So really make sure that before you put the baby on the changing station, that this one is removed far away from baby. Now the next thing on my list is for giving your little baby a manicure and a pedicure. I'd actually bought this fancy electric device to do her manicures and pedicures because babies have very long nails and they grow very fast. But their nails initially are way too sensitive to use those electric devices on. So all you need is one of these very easy little baby files, and that's it. You can just give them a manicure using this only. These come in handy because otherwise they're going to scratch their faces and they'll have like little scratches on their face. You don't want that. So definitely recommend just a very cheapy, easy one of these. Now another big tip is one of these. This is called a Boogie Bear. I haven't used this one yet, so I cannot talk about this one yet. I don't know if I like it or not, but this small one I absolutely love. She doesn't have boogers that much yet, but yeah, she had one little one, so I removed it with this wonderful Boogie Bear. And these come in so handy because I don't know how else you would remove a boogie if you didn't have this. There's no way you can put a finger in their nose when they're that small. So this, love. I'm sure in the future we'll be very grateful that we have this. Now finally, for my last couple of recommendations, I'm gonna go back to one part that I already talked about in the previous video, and that was the supplements that I use. I still take all the same supplements, however, one of these, the prenatal ones daily, it's not available anymore. So I did end up with a prenatal multi, which it's the same brand, and I love these. By the way, they're like candy. You have to take 4 of these gummies every day, and I look forward to the moment that I get to take these. I do think still that these ones are better. These do contain more vitamins in the end, but yeah, if it's not available here, it's not available. And I do love this brand. It's very healthy, clean, organic, and I will always try to use something of this brand instead of a different one. So yeah, now I'm using the prenatal multi. I still love using these. Now the last 2 recommendations of products that I have are for mommy, and I did already recommend this particular one in my previous video. This is the Mother's Special Blend, which is the oil that I used on my belly throughout the whole pregnancy, and I did not get one stretch mark. So very happy with that. They did change their packaging. They're now Mountain Ocean's Body Trip Mother Special Blend. You can really use any oil that you like, but still love this one so much. And then finally, dried chamomile. I love this. You can make tea with this, but you can also use that same tea as a rinse postpartum. So when you go to the toilet, you can just use a little bit of that same tea and rinse while you're peeing and after peeing. So that really is a great way to make sure that none of the bacteria touches any of the area down there that you want to heal. Definitely recommend chamomile tea. So before I forget, I do have one last recommendation, and this is for my fellow mommies out there who are breastfeeding. Sometimes you forget on which side you need to start breastfeeding. What I found is that it's super easy to just use a bracelet. This is an elastic bracelet, so it's super easy for me to take this off and to move it to the other arm. And yeah, this reminds me of which side I need to start breastfeeding on. Very handy little tip. Now, I did take credit for this, while actually Mo recommended this to me. So he said, maybe it's easy if you just switch your bracelet and then you know on which side you can start feeding. So yeah, definitely recommend something like this, an elastic bracelet or just an elastic hairband, whatever you want, and then switch them to the other arm. That's it for today's video. I hope these tips will come in handy for you. Remember that you don't need to buy everything out there, and you don't need to buy everything that I just recommended. Just kind of feel into what you feel like will work for you and your family, and then get those essentials. Now, if you have any tips and recommendations for me, things that you cannot live without, definitely share them down below. I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel, leave a comment, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!
Golden, I follow